Greetings and welcome to One Spark Love, Spirituality in a Modern World, presented by Healing by J.D.L. LLC. Trying out one of these effects on my Mac. It's like, oh, I only had my Mac for 2 years. I just decided, oh, look, what is this button? So I'm trying it out. This background is called Glow. How cool is that, right? So, today's sermon session is happiness in herbs. Pretty simple stuff. Now, basically, when it took the doctors almost 3 years to discover what was going on, why I was in pain. So it took 12 doctors, dentists, and specialists to finally, I had to go across the border to Mexico to get all my top right teeth pulled. So they quit sending me to the dentist and the oral surgeon. That's not the problem. It's a bigger problem. So my 13th ENT, third ENT doctor, 13th doctor, turned around and did a biopsy and found that my sinus massive progressive tumor moved to the middle of my head and was eating the bone in my head. So with the biopsy, she found that it was a tumor turned into cancer. Simply because when you understand the blueprint schematics of another life form called a molecule, basically a bacteria that's a molecule turns, since it's too long, it turns into a virus. That's how it works. And so when you actually experience this stuff, you don't just regurgitate from books, you speak from experience. And so while everybody's playing COVID cold, I start my cancer treatment, radiation, and chemotherapy in January of 2020. Now, as I know as a holistic nutritionist, this can't be good. I mean, it's going to get rid of this particular, and then it's going to create that particular. That's what happens called side effects. It's, you are the residual. You're creating the ripple effects through bacteria and viruses, and then it blows up on you and just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's why you got headed off on his path. So while I was going through radiation cancer treatments, the mask was from here to here, and the machine was going, and I'm going to sleep for 45 minutes, 5 days a week for 7 weeks. I got to take a good nap every time. The loud noise doesn't bother me because I'm a gang war. Gang war is, there are 4 of us at the school district, and it is 15-foot wingspan, 11 blades, 4-wheel drive, and hydraulic. I play with the big girl toys, not the little boy toys, okay? Yeah, I don't do this when you're saying something no, or do this when I'm saying something yes. That's mixed conflict. So I just do a circle. You gotta find the funnies and everything to bring heart smiles and belly laughs. That's the way it works. And sometimes my head would get going, and my daughter would say, "Mom, we're not black." And it's like, whatever. And that might be, politically incorrect, but the fact is, there are certain species that talk with their hands. Let's just say it's Latin blood. And then there's people that move a lot. These are body mechanisms. It's self-expression. It doesn't matter what culture you come from. What matters is that you're getting your inspiration out to illuminate the world. That's what it's all about. Whether you're doing this, or you're doing this, or doing this, it doesn't matter. Point being is that I am elevating you into a different realm of understanding through awareness. It's not hard. Easy peasy piece of cake. Now, to get those chemical compounds from radiation and chemotherapy treatments out, you got to get this out. So I knew that 4 weeks after they started these treatments, the cancer was gone. I knew this, alright? I could smell the cancer cells burning in my head with the radiation treatments. I told the nurse, and she said that children that have cancer and people that are sensitive also have cancer. That people that are sensitive can also smell the cancer burning. It smells like rotten meat in your trash for 3 days. That's disgusting. And plant-based, holistic nutritionist for 40 years, smelling meat, it is disgusting. As I quit eating meat years ago because it made me physically sick. So if it's not made by God, why were plants invented? Why were plants invented? Answer: God's gift for healing. It's that simple. It's not rocket science, it's logic. Rocket science comes from the frontal lobe of the human brain. Basically, that is practical, down-to-earth, common sense, 3D, third dimension, within the realms of the 5 physical human senses, through the primordial body of being, fight or flight mechanism, eat or be eaten by the saber-toothed tiger. It's not rocket science, it's logic. This is the human brain. When you open your human mind, you have to attach from the human brain to the human mind. Human brain is 3D, third dimension. Human mind is 5D, fifth dimension. It's all a blueprint schematics, alright? You as a walking, bipedal molecule, you can only gravitate towards certain energies in life. This is how you illuminate your auras that go through the portals in 4D, fourth dimension, into the chakras of 5D, fifth dimension, into illuminating the world. That's how it works. Not rocket science, it's logic, alright? Now, after 4 weeks, I knew the cancer was gone. So, I've got these chemical compounds in my human body. They must be eradicated, because they're not playing havoc, song and dance in my world. Thank you very much. I took 68 herbs daily. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 68 breakfast, 68 lunch, 68 dinner. Did that for 4 years. And as we all know, when you're female, then you tell something, Mama, I don't want that anymore. If you're male, it's Papa, I don't want that anymore. Or Mama, I want that. You see what I'm saying? You differentiate between the adult schematics, not as a child. Alright? Big difference. Step in the realms of reality. Alright? Now, my body says, Mama, I don't need that anymore. All those chemical compounds are X-nay. So, after 4 years, I'm now bagging them up, and I put them into a baggie. And so now I'm called a care package. And I'm giving it to people I know personally. These are cancer-fighting herbs. Start adding those lovely little healing properties into your food and help yourself illuminate into a better world of less health issues, less aches and pains, and all that good jazz. And no, I'm 61. I don't take medication. Why would I want that garbage? Remember, you spend your hard-earned pennies. Keep your pennies in your pocket, because pennies create babies called dollars. Keep your pennies in your pocket. Do you equate time, money, and energy to your health? Or do you equate your time, money, and energy to doctors' prescriptions and hospitals? You can keep that blueprint schematic. No, thank you. It has no place in my world. Now, I'm packaging up this stuff, and I'm going to give it to people I specifically know, and I'm this close, this close to finishing the project I'm working on. And of course, I always get my inspiration first thing in the morning when I wake up, because the spirit realm is bringing me information. So it could be a song, it could be a recipe or whatever. So today it's not a song, today it's a recipe. Now, I conquered, and that's why I think pretty much it's getting close to where no more podcasts, no more videos, no more anything of this nature, simply because I had to conquer this bad boy. The biggest fear in life for me all my life was public speaking. And trust me, I've done enough podcasts and everything else under the sun of communicating, because Gemini is the throat chakra coming from the planet Mercury. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, so that's how Geminis get so lucky, okay? So, got that. Now, of course, you all know, because you've done your research, because me, I've studied, research, experimented, and experienced pretty much everything under the sun. I will do more in one lifetime, and most people do in 10 lifetimes. That means I'm also having more chaos to create more experiences in life than most people do in. I do more in one lifetime, and most people do in 10 lifetimes. Now, basically, I already know who I'm going to be, which is the same thing when I came into this existence. Who I'm going to be, what I'm going to look like, what job am I going to have. I mean, everything about my whole life, I already knew before I came here. It was planned in the last lives. And that's a mathematical equation and world cosmic, alright? So I already know all this stuff. It's not hard to figure it out. You just gotta put the particle pieces together. That's it. It's easy peasy piece of cake. So I already knew all that, and I know exactly in the next life who I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna look like, what I'm gonna be doing. I already know all that. I plan it out in this life, and that's how it works. That's why you get the trilogy. Birth, death, rebirth creates reincarnation. It's that simple. And we have 28 oars and 28 chakras. It's that simple. In 3D third dimension. So you got 28, and in numerology, that's a 1. 1 is self. In action. 0 is the center of infinity. And then here you come along, doing your deal, and what do? You create. And you're number 1. And you're creating your ionic energies. And that's how you get chaos, the muck that exists in life. And yeah, you're just going about your day, doing your thing. And you're driving along, and all of a sudden somebody cuts you off on the road. Choice. You're just like, go ahead, get along, little doggy, yeehaw. Or do you say, what's wrong with you? You see what I'm saying? You're creating your ionic energies. Isn't life grand? And this is what you're taking with you into the next life. And that's why in this life, it's called karma, debt, and credit. It's not rocket science, it's logic. Alright. Now, make sure you learn to figure out exactly what are the particle pieces that are creating the ripple effect through the time sequence and the time dimension in space, mass, and matter. Time, space, and mass matter. What are you creating? I'm creating exactly who I was meant to be, where I was meant to be, what I'm supposed to be doing in this lifetime. That's it. It's this simple. And that's what I already knew, and that's what makes it that much easier. I don't look at some holy scripture to help guide me in my life. Why would I do that? I already know when I came here, and that's why I try and help other people do. And that's why I have 25 years in college, 16 certificates, and diplomas, 6 college degrees, 2 doctorate degrees, and I'm working on my 3rd doctorate degree. I'm a doctor in trilogy. I'm an AHEB. It's that simple. Because this is what I was meant to do. I pretty much must study, research, experiment, and experience everything under the sun. Because as we know, sun is male, ionic energy, number 3, conflict. The moon, his wife, is female, ionic energy, number 6, love. It's all a mathematical equation. It's all about numbers. It's not rocket science, it's logic. These numbers I put together and I figured them all out, and so then I give it to you in a lower life form through my fractal characters. And that's why I created a Fractmacology book series. So the first one is out, Fractmacology 5-in-1 on Amazon. It's about a girl named Shamanisha's past, present, and future lifetimes in the year of Universe 23, planet number 3. And she has an adventure, and she has 5 guides, and it's air, earth, fire, water, space. And each guide is like, space is Fractal Frog Trescence. He is the king of the land and the water, and so he is a fractal frog. And then you got the fractal go Y. So each one is a specific guide for Shamanisha in her adventures of past, present, and future lifetimes. So I finished only 3 of the books. It's in one book, Fractmacology 5-in-1. And then I'm going to have 3 more, and then 3 more, and then 3 more. So each fractal character is a specific code in helping you to understand. And this is your, like, a holy scripture, because it's giving you coded messages from the spirit realm of how to create your world into the direction that you desire and you deserve. It's as simple. You don't run around in life and say, I want this and I want that. You know, that actually sounds like an emotionally immature child, a 2-year-old. Mama, I want this. Mama, I want that. Papa, I want this. Papa, I want that. What are you, 2? It's called emotional maturity. No. You create what you deserve. You create what you desire. And I do it each and every day, all the time. I want something, I think it, and it happens exactly how I want it. Because me and the spirit realm are best buds. Now, as we all know, when you pray, you talk to God. When you meditate, you communicate with God. Communicate and bring to your world what you deserve through what you desire. Creating karmic debt or creating karmic credit. The right side of the human body is male ionic energy conflict. The left side of the body is female ionic energy. Number 6, love. Cool thing is my birthday is 6663. Y'all are superstition. Oh my God, the 3 6s. What is wrong with you? Seriously, let your imagination run hog wild. Seriously, dude. And then that's how paranoia kills. You're paranoid. You're afraid. First aura, emotional body of being. Red zone, you're afraid, you're paranoid, you get scared, you then have a heart attack, you're dead. Really? Paranoia kills. Control your imagination, alright? control your emotions. It's called emotional maturity. You like hanging out in emotional immaturity? Is it creating your world into the world of havoc and karmic debt? Or do you prefer to create karmic credit? And that is a wink, because people think you live in, oh my god, it's the Matrix, it's a glitch. You're hilarious. Thank you for the heart smiles and belly laughs. Oh my goodness. Now, after I got my teeth pulled, cancer treatments, radiation and chemotherapy, I knew I had to get rid of this. I knew exactly what to do to get rid of this shenanigan crap the doctors gave me. So, I have to keep going. You gotta go for 5 years to the cancer center. It's in some rule book somewhere. Okay. I did my Ph.D. on why the American Medical Association assumed in the beginning that the human body is the chopping block like a machine, so they can discover what's going on. Yeah, okay, it's in my Ph.D. And of course it's in my book. And this is how you get your books copyrighted. Okay? So, now, how do you get those chemical compounds out? Well, that's why I did 68 herbs. And they're all gone now. So now I gotta deal with the lovely side effects that I have lymphedema because of the radiation cancer treatments. So I wear a medical device every night. I also have a handheld massager. I got 4 different massagers because all the mess is right here. So I have to help it do what it needs to do so that my body can process what it needs to process. It's that simple. So I wear this and I do that, and then of course, being a holistic nutritionist, I knew exactly what foods I should consume and what not. So I'm histamine intolerant simply because the cancer gave me that. So I've learned to kosher motif. Kosher is balance, motif is lifestyle. So I've learned to create kosher motif, new day, new way, new me, after cancer. That's what it's about. So after my 3rd different cancer, I got a choice. Do I want to just roll over and die? Or do I want to make changes and create the fantastic world of what I deserve by what I desire? Is it? That's how that works. So I'm giving those care package away. And this morning when I woke up, okay, conquered the fear of public speaking. So I don't really need to do any more podcasts or anything anymore. Now I'm afraid, very afraid. They say don't be afraid, but I'm afraid. I've never tried it before. But I went to the store the other day. I got 4 oysters. Now it freaks me out just thinking about eating those. I just want to gag thinking about it. Now, as my histamine and hypoglycemia and all the other laundry list of medical issues, I call it, as it comes up, basically, I have to help my body process whatever it needs to process because it's having an issue. Not processing because it has a side effect, permanent damages because of the cancer, radiation, and chemo, and all this other jazz that it decided to invade my space, and it damaged enzymes, it damaged nerves, it damaged so many things, this cancer. So I have to turn around and learn a whole new life, and that's why it's called kosher motif. And I do this through creating different recipes and whatnot. And one of those things that I have to do, because plant-based 40 years, I have to now throw in some meat. And so the best seafood for my medical conditions is oysters. So they say the best thing to do, I'm just thinking about swallowing. It's like just gagging me just thinking about it. So the best thing to do is I don't bake, I don't have an oven, I don't broil, I don't barbecue. That's too much work for my medical condition. That's too much work. I don't have that kind of energy. So I'm gonna boil them. Okay. It's just, sorry, but just thinking about it freaks me out. So I'm gonna boil it, and then I'm gonna cut it up in little tiny pieces. So hopefully I won't taste it, right? And then I'm gonna get a jamaica, that's Mexican potato, and because I'm histamine intolerant, luckily cancer gave that to me because it damaged my enzymes permanent, and so then I can't have red tomatoes, but I can have green tomatoes. That's tomatillos. That's Mexican tomatoes. And then I'm going to get a jamaica, Mexican potato. So I'm going to do the oyster, the potato, and the tomato. And I'm going to boil them together. So I'm going to cook them together. And then I'm going to add a few other things. And then I'm going to make I love burritos. I can't have corn. It's too hard to swallow and process because my esophagus still closes up, and right now the scar tissue, it builds up and it kills my esophagus, so basically I can't breathe and swallow. So I have to massage it to open it up. I'll be going for my second or third throat stretching so that I can breathe and swallow a little bit easier. And you got to do this several times, they tell me. Yeah, I was lucky after this cancer. I have 32 doctors. My second cancer was thyroid disease, and basically I didn't want to, but the doctor, I finally, a year and a half after having, when I'm sleeping, my heart was beating triple time because my thyroids were swollen 3 inches out on both sides of my body, and I had to go for my physical in the Navy, and the Navy doctor found that I have thyroid disease. I was hyperthyroidism. So after a year and a half, I finally told my doctor, my endocrinologist, okay, take it out. He sent me to the emergency room to drink radioactive iodine to disintegrate my thyroid. That was 30 years ago. So ever since then, I take one medication because I have no thyroid. And I'm still, like, I'll never forgive that doctor for taking one of my body parts. I was born with that. That was mine. How dare you take my body part? So I have to compensate that with, yeah, lucky me, prescription. So that's the only thing that I take, and I will never let a doctor take a body part again. I will fix it. They're not taking it. Because that's why I'm an alternative doctor, and I create non-drug prescriptions because I'm a non-drug practitioner. And that's what I do. I'm an ordained Reverend of Divine Energy. That's why I am. And life is love. Love is life. Blessings from Reverend Dr. Juanita Lewis, D.Div, Ph.D. And thank you for your support. Don't have too much fun without me.